Welcome back to another book review. Today we're going to be talking about Law School Confidential, a complete guide to the law school experience by students for students by Robert Miller. And if you guys are a subscriber to this channel, you guys know I start law school in like less than a week in June. I'm taking a summer contracts course. It's going to be online, but it's going to be an exciting experience because it's what I've wanted to do basically my entire life. And this channel, I do book reviews. So I've been reading a lot of, like pre-law school books, try to get my mind right and, get a little bit of an edge. My mom bought this book for me. I finished reading it about a week ago. And I'm just going to do a very brief review because there's really not too much to say. If you're not someone who's going to law school, there's probably no point in watching this book review. But if you are someone who's going to law school, I highly recommend picking up this book. It's a 5 out of 5 in terms of mental preparedness and also strategy and, getting an understanding of what you're going to be going through these 3 years. So Robert, let me see what it says about the author. It's not that consequential. I guess some people will be interested to know he is a law school graduate. He went to the University of Pennsylvania. It looks like he wrote this book along with a couple of other lawyers who I'm not even going to start naming them. But it's supposed to help you navigate before applying to law school, the summer before starting law school, and also law school life all the way up until graduation. And the book is broken down kind of sequentially. What I found the most useful was obviously the parts about before you start law school, because that's where I'm at. I don't know how useful it really is personally. If you're someone who's just thinking about going to law school, this isn't the book I would pick up. This is the book I would pick up if you're someone who's been admitted already. You could probably skip the first 4 chapters and jump right into chapter 5, or chapter 6, part 2 of the book, which is the first year they scare you to death. And chapter 6 was, in my opinion, it was the most useful chapter because he tells you what to do before you arrive on campus and how to sort of organize your life. And he explains that being organized is, kind of being able to prepare for what's coming ahead is going to be a key differentiator, because what you don't want is you don't want to come the last week of class and you aren't prepared to study for finals week, right? You don't have your case outlines. You're scrambling around trying to finish your readings, right? Law school is all about staying on top of your readings. The most useful part of part 6, I thought, is when he talks about, hold on, I think it's in this chapter. Yeah. The last piece of advice, he says, get your book, study aids, and other supplies, right? So I didn't even know about these study aids, but it's something that later in the book he explains how you use the study aids. He talks about using his case briefing method, which involves using 5 different colored highlighters, and he explains why. What he does is, let's see if I can find this. Well, I can't find it, but essentially every different color he uses to highlight a different part of the case. So what is the procedure? What are the facts of the case? What was the finding of the case? I forgot what the other 2 sort of aspects of the case that he highlights are, but this allows you to be prepared whenever you are not only briefing your cases, but whenever you have to possibly engage in the Socratic method. You're not scrambling around trying to, say something intelligible. You have right there kind of a color code of, all right, it basically gives you a very quick summary that if you get called on, you're not going to look like a dumbass. So I think that's important. And chapter 9, I also really like chapter 9. If I can find it. The Unspoken Code of Law School Etiquette, right? And this is kind of how to not become that guy, essentially. Some of these should be really, some of these I think are no-brainers, but I mean, I've been in enough classrooms to know that they're not no-brainers, right? people still have their cell phones ringing in class and shit like that. But like, don't boast about your study habits. Safeguard your reputation. Adhere to the school's recruiting. Like, some of these are very, very basic, but the ones that I thought were interesting, it was like, don't make your answers political. Um, don't talk about grades with anyone. I think these are going to be two cardinal rules that I'm going to adhere by. Um, and he goes into like why you don't want to do these things. You don't want to be the dude who's asking a question in class, but you're really trying to make a political point. Like, don't do that. Um, and then the other thing that I really appreciate about this book was to be able to start thinking ahead in terms of how are you going to land a job, right? He talks about preparing the summer before 1L. Like, if you know you wanted to go, if you know you want to go into corporate law, like, you need to already basically start working on your resume, because November 1st is when you need to, of your 1L year, you need to start dripping out your resume, start reaching out, make sure you already have a list of the different law firms in your area that you could potentially apply to. Um, and he just really tries to show you how to organize your life. And I'm not the best with organization, so I found it very helpful. And yeah, I'm going to end this review here. It's already been too long. I hope that anyone who's going to law school picks up a copy of this book, and maybe I'll have an Amazon link in the description, and that goes to help me continue to build this channel. So buy it on Amazon and help a brother out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.